This is the Average Guy Network, and you have found Home Gadget Geeks, show number 379, recorded on November 15th, 2018. Here at Home Gadget Geeks, we cover all the favorite tech gadgets that find their way into your home. News, reviews, product updates, and conversation, all for the average tech guy. I'm your host, Jim Collison, broadcasting live from the AverageGuy.tv studios here in a beautiful Bellevue, Nebraska. Fall is here. We're seeing 50s in the afternoons, 30s at night. It couldn't be any better. All the leaves are down. We're in full swing. Our friends on the East Coast getting a little snow. We know that out there, Mike. No snow for us, right?
Yeah, no, but my actually one of the guys I work with, offices out of New York, he said, we're getting pounded. He was in Omaha, was supposed to leave today. He decided, he got the Delta alert, said, you know what, I'm going to get out of here yesterday. It was probably a good choice because I don't think he would have gotten back home had he waited the day. Apparently they're getting pounded out there.
Yeah, well, I don't feel sorry for him. It's their fault for living on the East Coast. Of course, we post the show, not really. We post the show with world-class show notes each week. And this one, on this podcast, we'll see how good the show notes are. You might want to check them out anyways, out there at the Average Guy.TV. Don't forget, you can join us live on our mobile app. If you haven't done that yet, download it. It's free, available for you. Go to any of the stores, right? Either iPhone or Android. Search for Home Gadget Geeks. You'll find it there. You can go to homegadgetgeeks.com. That's a super easy way. Big buttons. You just push and it automatically takes you to it as well. Great way to take the show with you on the road. It's streamed. It's great to listen to. Easy to do. You could be listening to it tonight. Podcasters sometimes find the live streams are hard to find live. It's just hard. I don't know why. It's easy in our app. Head out to homegadgetgeeks.com. Great way to listen live. And you can listen after the fact too. Usually on Friday night, Saturday morning, I overwrite the live show with the new show. Just automatically shows up. It's edited and ready to go. And so we'd love to have you do that. We want to say a big thanks to our Patreon subscribers here. There's a bunch of you every single month who help support and help us pay for that. So we appreciate you guys and gals who support us on Patreon. Big thanks to John Larson last week. John came in and rocked it with some telescope tech, which was really cool. Some 3D printing tech. There we go. And some laser tech. And so if you haven't gone back and watched 378, I think that is. Yeah, 378. You want to head over theaverageguy.tv/HGG378. It'll take you straight to it. It's actually on the top of the page right up there right now. And you can catch up on it. John's a great guy. We want to say thanks, John, for coming on. It was always enjoyable to get that. Mike, did you take anything away from last week?
The fact that I need to go out to Zarinsky Lake and go watch some stars. No, in all honesty, though, I did so much Googling after that show, trying to figure out, I was looking into these telescopes because now between the combination of you and that show, because you've always been very interested in space, right? You got me into the NASA thing, the launches. So now you've got me, this would actually be pretty cool to get into. I'm already into photography. That's what got me, Jim, was the photography. The shots they had of the planets and of the stars, man, those were just super cool. They were actually really crisp, which I liked. I didn't think you'd be able to get that kind of quality from one of those telescopes. So yeah, got me super into it. That was awesome.
Yeah, that scope he has, just $2,000. I mean,
just a quick $2,000 to drop down.
Yeah, but when you're thinking about expensive hobbies, Mike, I mean, you can drop a lot of money on computer stuff. Like a good gaming rig, you're at $1,000 right there, and then some sweet monitors. And so I was talking with my son, Tim, my Marine son, who lives out in San Diego. He just bought himself a new 42-inch curved. So some gigantic number.
Oh yeah.
Some gigantic number on resolution. 42.
1440p.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gaming, 144 hertz for gaming. I mean, it's a super. He got it for like $310, which was
wow. Yeah, it's a steal.
Deal. But we were talking about 49-inch screens that they have. Those are $1,000 right now. 49 inches. I have two 24s side by side. So that's almost the same thing in a single screen. Pretty incredible stuff out there. We're talking Black Friday deals. Monitors are usually the thing you can find on Black Friday. So check out Dell, check out HP, check out Best Buy. Sometimes you can find some really good Black Friday deals. So on monitors, but it was super, super cool to do that, to spend some time. I actually, Mike, I'm not gonna lie. I like it. I have the tape measure right here.
Were you seeing if you could fit one in right in your setup?
I was like, okay, so what if I got two of them? Because we were talking about that. I'm like, what would 49 inches look like on my desk, right? I would
Yeah.
kind of
So what is it going to work? Are you going to do it?
it would nearly be a 180 if I
Okay.
did two
Wow.
curved nearly, not quite. It doesn't quite wrap all the way, but it would be pretty close. I mean, you would really have to turn a lot to get two 49-inch screens mounted, but how freaking cool would that be?
That'd be yeah. I mean, can you imagine? It'd be fantastic. I wouldn't have the same struggle I'm having right now, Jim, where I'm definitely running out of screen real estate to do the podcast.
Yeah. Mark Robson in the chat room is saying he's running a 49-inch 4K TV for a monitor right now. A little bigger, a little taller than those. Those are more monitor size, those 49 inchers. His is more TV size, so that's a big lot of resolution there. So pretty cool to spend some time talking with Tim. We also last night we recorded Cyber Frontiers 51, and I normally wouldn't spend a lot of time talking about it, but Christian finally broke loose on crypto. And like Mike, we've talked about this here, where like Christian's kept pretty tight-lipped. Like I told him on the show last night, I was super surprised he had the discipline to not get involved in the crypto space. Like, why?
Oh, definitely.
Christian, right? Well, he came uncorked last night, so you might want to catch. It's not ready yet as of tonight. I still need to produce it. We had some problems with it, the audio, so I have to edit it up for you. But you definitely want to go out and get Cyber Frontiers 51. It'll be available this weekend. So you can go out and take a peek at it. But Christian comes uncorked on crypto. It's pretty great.
Now you've got me pumped. I've been wanting to know Christian's take on crypto since we started getting into it. So I'm excited to hear what his take is.
It's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I mean, most of the times it's over my head, but this time,
whenever he talks, I'm like, okay, you gotta slow that down about 10 steps, right? Like you and I are techie. That guy is a professional. Yeah. He's a true professional.
No, right on. So if you haven't checked out Cyber Frontiers 51, if you haven't subscribed to Cyber Frontiers yet, you can find that. We don't have an app for it, but you can find that in any podcast player, whether it's on your iPhone or Android device. Just search Cyber Frontiers. It's a big red logo. Download that. Go back to the last couple. The last 2 or 3 have been really good, mostly because Jim actually had an opinion. Normally, I just sit there and let him. Christian could talk for an hour, no problem. Super interesting, no problems.
I didn't think about that. On the crypto conversation, though, I bet you had a lot to say, right? Like, I mean, you've been in this space. He's observing from a tech side, and you've probably seen the trends, but you've been in the trenches, actually doing the mining, doing you've just been into it. So I bet that was probably a stimulating conversation for both of you.
Yeah, well, I had some examples of some.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't trust crypto, and we've seen some things happen on crypto that are weird. This whole Saya, we won't. Guys, don't turn this off, okay? I know you're like, oh crap, he's going to crypto, right?
He went down the crypto sphere.
They're like going 30 right now to get past it, but this whole Saya conversion from 1 blockchain to 3, and actually, I have a really damaging story to tell in the crypto part of the end of the show. So you probably want to stay around for the crypto. I made a gigantic mistake this week, but we talked about that and how that does not bode well for trust, the trust factor of the blockchain, right. And so he does a great job. So head out there, Cyber Frontiers 51. Before we get started on the Black Friday stuff, a couple emails that have come in. Eric Janowski has been sending me a couple of emails. I've been holding them just because we haven't had that kind of show to read them on there. But a couple things. He sent me an email. One, he said, Jim, I don't know if you've seen this yet, but TV stations in LA use augmented reality to show streets and freeways superimposed in helicopter shots. When the helicopter moves, the map moves. When the shot zooms in or zooms out, the maps move accordingly. Good use of technology. LA stations love car chases, and I'm addicted. The technology puts these chases in perspective. Have a great weekend, Eric. So, yeah, I mean, in LA, car chases are everything, Mike. I don't know. You can local channels.
Oh, yeah. When I was out there, I was in Pasadena. I worked out there for about 6 months. That was all the news covered. And, man, they were actually exciting. I was like, this would be way different in Omaha. Like, the news in LA, way different than Omaha.
Well, and you think about, we should say really sad days for California right now. Half the state is burning down. Shootings there in Thousand Oaks. And it just, here in the United States, we got a few problems with that, and it's kind of crazy. But that being said, I've been watching some YouTube coverage of both those fires, and that's a perfect example of how to superimpose. In the city of paradise, which is just my heart goes out for those folks. Like I cannot. Mike, we lost an entire city, 27,000 people. The city's gone. Like it's unbelievable what transpired there. But as they're covering this, showing superimposing streets could be really, really, really helpful. And that could be helpful at a flight level, or at a, for when smoke is covering and you can't see through things, and to get some idea of where stuff is at. So that could be really cool. Our hearts and prayers do go out to a lot of folks, though, who affected. We don't even think twice. Like, Mike, I don't ever think about a wildfire burning the city of Bellevue down.
Yeah. No, I was the same way. We had at work, we had our partner summit. So it's where all our partners come in, and we had our office from San Rafael come in, and they're not being affected directly. They're a little bit further away, but he was just describing to me, even for me, I'm not the best at following up on the news. He was just describing everything, and it's just insane how fast that can happen. One of the universities right around there, which university is it? That's probably right in the path of it.
Chico.
Yeah,
Chico.
At Chico, and there's another one too. The Pepperdine, or not Pepperdine. Well, there's another one.
LA. No. Yeah, it is Pepperdine.
I think Pepperdine's, in a risk of being. It's insane. Yeah, and you and I have never thought about a wildfire. It just doesn't. It's not one of the things. Just like they've never thought about a tornado, right?
Yeah. Well, I live in a forest. Don't get me wrong. Where I live in Bellevue is forested. Like, it looks like there's areas that look like California, hilly and trees. We don't even think about it. We don't just think about a forest fire burning all those things down. Could happen, but pretty shocking. But Eric, thanks for sharing that with us as well. Some pretty cool technology as they superimpose those the maps over it. So very cool. And then he sent me another one a couple weeks ago, Mike. I was talking about maybe putting PF Sense on the Kangaroo. And Eric had this to say. He said, instead of PF Sense on a Kangaroo, I would get a Ubiquiti Edge router. The Kangaroo is 200 powered and unlikely to support multiple gigabit streams. The dock Ethernet port is 100 base T. You can get a simple Edge router for under $60 on Amazon. As soon as I have some time after Turkey Day, I'm going to get one as a firewall, Eric. So yeah, no good. I don't know, Mike. Do you have any?
Yeah.
Put on that?
Those Edge routers are fantastic. So if you want to, you can flash those with PF Sense. Ubiquiti in general just makes some great products. So if you wanted to run the Edge router just with the basic Edge router software, it's also a great router. But flash now with PF Sense would also work really well. I agree. The Kangaroo, probably not the best device. First of all, you're going to be running one of those on USB 3 because you need at least 2 LAN ports or Ethernet ports. The one thing I did not know that one of those, the one in the dock, was 100. I thought that was a gigabit port. So good to know that the dock over there is not a gigabit port.
Yeah. Actually, the Kangaroo is powering this monitor right here. Touchscreen. I go in there. It's a display screen at this point. It'll display anything I want. I don't really have that much running on it. Really, really solid kiosk. That's what the Kangaroos do really, really well.
I totally agree. Yep.
Yeah.
Or a great Linux box. I actually switched mine back to Linux. I keep going back and forth, Windows or Linux. Great little Linux box. We have it plugged in our bedroom TV. So if we ever want to browse the internet or do something like that, we can run it right off that Kangaroo with Ubuntu, and it runs fantastic. Runs that better than it runs Windows.
Tajoski, sorry about that. Tajoski in the chat room says Edge routers are solid. Of course, I'm running a Bitdefender box. I've been trying these guys out. And I got a deal on it. I think I got it for $100, maybe 150. Comes with unlimited Bitdefender software, which is pretty cool. Did you hear that notification? I think I got this turned off. You didn't hear the notification, did you?
No, and actually the chat room helped me turn mine off because mine's all running through the mixer. You probably heard one earlier, so I asked the chat room, and I think they helped me fix it up. So
last night during Christian's podcast, we had all kinds of problems with the internet, and I had to end up playing back what he had said before, and it was just super convenient on the board to just hit kind of talk through, and then I could play the video back that we had done live and get to the right in the spot where it had failed before, and then turn those things off. But sometimes I forget to disable it.
Yeah,
and it never fails. We have a family chat room in Facebook that everybody talks to on, and never fails. Thursday nights, 8:15.
Just starts blowing up.
Just the whole thing is blowing up. So So Eric, I am going to take this Ubiquiti Edge router. One of the things I miss from pfSense is having the ability to look on the network and see what's causing the traffic. And the Bitdefender box doesn't give that to me. So I'd love to have something where on a podcast night, I can kind of see the traffic and see what's causing the issues and kind of know what's going out and what's coming in, just so I have some ideas. Tonight, I think we're pretty fortunate tonight. Things seem to be running okay.
It's been running without a hitch. Yeah, that traffic graph though on pfSense is invaluable. Go in there, see exactly what IPs are causing that up and down, splitting out into VLANs. Just everything about pfSense is just perfect. I love it. The one exception to that, actually, I ran into a problem with pfSense lately, just to throw it out there. If you are trying to play Call of Duty and you have UPnP set up on your pfSense box, for some reason, Call of Duty does not like to play well with UPnP on pfSense, so it will not open the port. So you do physically have to go port forward 3075 UDP, which is the port for Call of Duty, over to your Xbox, your PC, whatever you're using. I don't know why. For some reason, the pfSense version of UPnP does not. Call of Duty doesn't play well with it. So I was running into that problem, which is driving me nuts. So a little quick tip there if you're trying to play some Call of Duty on a pfSense box.
Yeah. Well, it's for me, I just like something easy I could literally put on the edge. I want it coming right off the modem.
Yeah, and they're really small too. Those devices are perfect for you. I think the size would work great, putting it up by your network switch, because I think yours is up and kind of on the wall, right? You have those wall mounted.
Yep.
It would work really well up there.
They're sitting right up here, mounted on the wall with pipe, plastic pipe. I forget what that stuff called, but you would use it to wrap around a pipe to mount it, somewhere. Those make great because they stretch really well. So I put it against the wall, put a screw on the bottom, put the plastic, and it's got, those little holes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm talking about, right? Plumber, what do we call that stuff? I'm blanking on it. Somebody in the chat room will let me know. They know it. It's gray. It's got a bunch of holes in it. What do we call that, guys? So I use that to kind of hold up everything, and it stretches kind of nicely. And so I can screw into the pegboard, and it does just a nice job of securing everything to the wall. So instead of having a shelf full of networking gear, it's all flat up against the wall, and I can see it, and it's easy to route cables. And for me, it's been a great way to get my, I've got two silicon dust DVR, recording devices in there, 4 channels between them. Modem comes in that way. I've got a Philips Hue hub that's sitting up there. I've got that 24 port. You can see the box for it right here. D-Link switch.
So you had a whole rack essentially wall mounted.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good way it takes up way less space that way.
It really does. And it gets air like it should. It's on pegboard, like the pegboard that's behind you. It's mounted. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's been super handy. And then actually right next to that are all my tools. So, I've got kind of a wall section of tools. If I need to work anything, grab the tools, I can just pull them off of there. It's been a good little setup. And then next to it on the right-hand side, is where all the anything I have, any Ethernet ports are coming in from other rooms. I've got kind of a section right there where all those pieces are coming in. I can modularize those. I'll be honest, I have not changed those in a long time. So they're just sitting the same. They've been that way for 8 or 9 or 10 years. In fact, one of the open network ports, as I'm looking at it, it's got quite a bit of dust in the bottom, where it's just kind of been, been nothing in there. I probably should blow those out. But it's been a great way for me, Mike, to kind of organize my network gear. So I have to think about this. Eric, thanks for the email on it. I will converse. Maybe there will be a Black Friday deal that you'll let me know. If you've seen these, you want to share them. Really head over to our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/the average guy. Great place to kind of share some of these. We've been sharing some of the deals that are coming up. I'll talk a little bit about those tonight coming in. Mike, I want to start with, sorry, it took us 30 minutes to get there, but there's a lot of community stuff I wanted to get in before we started talking about this. So I appreciate you guys kind of listening through that. Mike, a deal I may not let pass up. No, I didn't say that right. I may not pass up this deal this Black Friday. Microsoft is doing Xbox One S 1 terabyte consoles, and they have a Minecraft bundle. That's $299 at the Microsoft store. I may not buy it there, but I think an Xbox is in my is on my radar. I don't know. What do you think?
And I'm excited for that because I've been telling you that it is the perfect living room entertainment center. I think especially if you're able to get Sarah converted over to using Plex, then it is, it's got the IR blaster built in, right? So you have one remote. It blasts out. It can turn on your TV. It can turn on if you have an amplifier for any of your music or your speakers or anything like that. It is the perfect home entertainment box. So I'm excited for you to get that. I think $299 is a great deal, especially for 1 terabyte. I have that version, so I have the Xbox One S, but it's only a 500 gig, and I do have to dangle a terabyte external hard drive off the end because I ran out of space. But that being said, for someone like you, Jim, who you're not a huge gamer, you're probably not going to have too many games downloaded to it. You might be able to grab a 500 gig version for even cheaper and be totally fine with that 500 gig. Depends on how many games. So games are about 50 to 60 gigabyte a piece. You think about everything else you're streaming, right? Like what else are you going to download to your Xbox? Probably not much. You're going to stream everything else. So I'm excited for you. I think you'll really enjoy it if it ends up being on your list. But $299 is a great price for that.
I've been using Bing points, or Microsoft points as they call them now, to, every day I come home and I open up Edge and I've got some automated search things that I run, and then I answer their quizzes. It takes me 5 minutes. It's kind of fun to just goof around with. And you can get anywhere from 200 to 500 points a day or something like that. I could be wrong. Mike, in the last couple weeks, I've gone from just a few thousand points to, let's see what I currently have. I'm at about 18,000 points right now. Just kind of goofing around on Edge. The good news is, and I think, let me look, but I think 29,000 points, if you just open Edge and you go to any, there's a reward section. So log in and you get rewards. You could be doing this too. It's super easy to do. But they do a Game Pass. They have a Game Pass level, and I think it's 29,000. Let me look here really quick just to kind of see what gets me there. But they have a Game Pass level that allows me, and I'll hit that thing in the next couple weeks, 3, 4, 5 weeks, I think, probably take me to get there. And I can set a goal for that. But yeah, 29,000 points. So I'm just a little over 10,000 points away, and I get a free Xbox Live Gold membership. Now I could pay for that.
And how long is that for?
For a year.
Dang.
Yeah.
Nice.
So basically, in about 3 months,
you got $60 worth of benefit.
Yeah. And I could drop $60, but it's been a challenge. Like,
yeah. It's the fun of it, right?
Can I use Microsoft's reward points to earn enough to get a free? So I'm kind of timing the two just to kind of see if I could pull the two off. I thought that would be kind of fun. I don't know if I buy it from the Microsoft store, I can put that on monthly payments that are basically interest free, spread it across 2 years, add the gold membership in. And I heard from somebody else, another podcast, I think our friends over at the DMZ, Josh and Richard, that I think you can roll any other purchases at the Microsoft store into that same plan. So
no way. Really?
I think I heard that on Digital Media Zone.
Yeah, and I think so for the Xbox One S, they said it was $25 a month.
Yeah.
You get and don't forget, you also get Game Pass included. So Game Pass is another $10 a month. So you get that included as well. So you got your Live, you got your Game Pass. Game Pass, Forza, the racing game that I've streamed a few times, that is with Game Pass. They've got a lot of just entry games you'd be able to get into. None of the big blockbusters like Call of Duty's not on there and things like that. But that's a pretty good deal. You're right. And you rolled over 2 years. It's interest free. You're pretty much just taking that payment and spreading it out.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to take them up on the offer. And and I'm not a big fan of payments. Like I try to pay everything off. I don't like debt.
No, same here.
I'm super close to having the cars paid off, or super close to having the house paid off. Like I hate that stuff, but it's like free. So if you're like me and you're thinking you might just do this, that gets to be another option.
Well, now I thought the same thing. I have 2 Xboxes in the house. I was like, I could probably get a third. I could definitely use a third. Like when I saw those payments, I'm like, it's like free money. There's no interest on it. It's $24 a month. Like you get, because I only have one account right now that has Live. And so here's a little hack too. I'll give you this. I have one account that I pay for Xbox Live for. I pay for Game Pass, EA Access, and everything. So when you have 2 Xboxes in the home, what you do is you set one of them as the home Xbox, and then any other account that is on that Xbox, since you're set as home on your account you pay for, all those other accounts get free access to Xbox Live. So then what you do is you leave that Xbox, but you never sign into your main account there. You always sign into a secondary account. Then on your second Xbox in your home, you sign in on your main account, the account you pay for. It's not your home Xbox. So then you essentially get two Xboxes in the same house. You don't need to pay for Live. You can have multiple accounts that you have free access to Live. And by the way, this is not a hack. Microsoft supports this. It's intended for the, hey, I have two sons. They have two Xboxes in the home, and I don't want to pay double for everything. This comes in especially handy when you've paid for a game, right? Digitally, because you pay for these games digitally. So you pay $60. You don't want both. You don't have to pay this twice for each of your kids. They have two Xboxes. So you can use that fashion to play everything on two different Xboxes at once. It's kind of nice.
By the way, I know you alluded to this or kind of assumed this. The Xbox is not going to go in the living room. Like it's kind
No?
No, heck no.
Okay.
It would be worthless there. Like I would never get a chance. Sarah's always watching TV. She's not going to mess around on the Xbox. I want to play on this thing. Like I got it to game on. So it's
okay. Oh, if you're getting to, I didn't know if you were getting to game on. Yeah, then yeah, throw it down there. Right. So Jim, that means you can stream with me on Twitch, which would be pretty fun too.
Oh, it'd be great. And I suck. Listen, I suck, but you do too.
Oh, so you've seen enough of my streams, Jim. You know I'm not the best either, so that works out well.
Your streams,
yeah,
it's pretty good. Mike, why don't you remind folks if they're listening, how would they find you on Twitch?
Yeah, so twitch.tv/thedadnerd. So I am the Dad Nerd everywhere on social media, also on Twitch. You can click the follow button. You'll get notifications. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription, which subs on Twitch are a financial way to support your streamer. But if you have Amazon Prime, you get one free Twitch sub a month. So you could do it that way and support it. But yeah, that's how you find me over there. And if you're watching this show, you might be watching on Twitch because now we're going to start, at least we're going to try to stream this show over on Twitch as well, over on my channel. And we're going to see how it goes. But yeah, I appreciate also just a real quick, while we're talking about it, everyone who's over there watching on Twitch right now and talking in the chat, appreciate you guys all being out there and following the show. It'll be fun. The Dad Nerd over on Twitch.
Right on. No, it's kind of fun to have you out there. And I leave the Twitch app. There's a Windows app for Twitch that you can just download and log into. And I just leave it open and I hear voices and I'm like, oh, hey, Mike's on Twitch.
Yeah.
So he wonders how I get there so fast.
No kidding. You're always the first one in there. Like always.
Yeah, I hear you. I have that. I leave that app. You're the only one I follow. So it's pretty easy to do. Well, I have to think through when I'm going to pick up that Xbox, and that would be super fun to do.
Tonight probably would be a good time.
Well, I wonder would I pay tax if I bought it on the Microsoft Store?
Oh, that's a good question.
I wonder, because it would make sense to buy it locally. But
so are you going to do the 2-year? You might as well, right? It's a freeway.
Yeah.
The only difference there is if you're going to do Game Pass or not, because you're paying for Game Pass with the extra 24 months. If you're not going to do Game Pass, then you're really paying. 200, what is that, $240 extra a month? And you don't need to pay that if you're not going to.
Yeah. I'll have to look into it. So it's there may be an Xbox here in the family.
I'm so excited. We've been talking about this for so long.
I know, and I'm just not a big gamer, but I think the time has come. The kids all are Steam gamers.
Right.
The last time they were here, we were out enjoying a adult beverage on the deck, and I said to them, hey, like, what would happen if I just joined you on Steam? And they looked at me funny, like, really? And I've also thought I've got I've got great video cards to be able to do gaming with here that I'm not using for anything at the moment. I thought it'd be fun. They're pretty belligerent and they swear a lot.
You'll see a side of your kids you've never seen before.
No, I've seen it. Trust me.
But real quick though, if you are on Steam, one really awesome game that I just discovered, I'm actually thinking about streaming it, is PC Builder. Okay, so Jim, you and I are huge nerds when it comes to building PCs, but it's a really expensive hobby. So PC Builder that's exactly what it says. It's a simulator where you are building PCs. But if you do the career, you're actually an IT guy in his apartment that starts the IT company fixing computers. Super addictive, but it also saves you from spending the money on actual computer parts. So it's a really fun game if you want to try it. It's like $20, totally worth it. I've been putting way too many hours into it. I should have been streaming, but I haven't because I've been so addicted to playing it. It's been a lot of fun.
You stream Steam games on Twitch?
Oh yeah, you can stream whatever you want. So I'm kind of limited because my computer doesn't have I'm using an iMac, not a great graphics card. So if I'm running a game and streaming at the same time on my computer, It doesn't like it. That's why I use a capture card and I game on my Xbox and just capture it. And my iMac has no problem doing that. So I usually can't game and stream at the same time. So I haven't been doing it too much.
I think there's going to be a lot of Xbox consoles that are given at Christmas. I think this is the Christmas. There's just too many good deals out there. There's
especially with the X, right? Like that new Xbox out there, you pretty much got the gaming of a PC, graphics wise and everything like that. And yeah, too, with the payments options, that opened the door to a lot of people that might not have been able to drop $300, $400, $500 on a console, but $23 to $35 a month is a little bit more palatable.
Right. No. So
Emily Prokop says she wants to play Rocket League with you now, Jim. So Rocket League is car soccer. So you're driving on a remote car and you're kicking a ball around trying to score. It's pretty fun.
I got to do it.
Oh, yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah, I got to get in now. I've said it on the podcast. I got to get it done. Kevin Schoonover has been kind enough when we were talking about Black Friday deals. By the way, if you're listening live and you've got some deals you want to share with us, throw them in the chat room. It'd be helpful for me if you threw them in the chat room. I've got too many windows open and I'm having trouble keeping track of the Twitch chat room. But Kevin was kind enough to drop some. It looks like Target and Best Buy. If you're buying locally, it really looks like there's going to be some good deals in both those locations. I think if you're not into digital assistants, if you haven't done a Google or an Echo, this is probably the Christmas to get in. I think Amazon is getting super aggressive about getting these everywhere. And so, a Dot V2 is going to be $20. A V3 is going to be $24. These are at Target. An Echo is going to be $69. 7-inch tablet, $30. 10-inch tablets, $100. Fire sticks, $25. So if you're thinking of being in the Amazon space or you're already in the Amazon space, you got to, and Mike, last Christmas, I remember going to Best Buy and there were $30 Dots everywhere. I mean, you just couldn't, right? And not only Dots, but the Google Home and some of the other ones, they were all competing at $30. Don't you? I think they're going to probably be as cheap as $20 this.
I would hope so. And I think even the Dots, like they are very, like we have Dots. That is actually the most used device in our home. We have the main Amazon Echo. We actually have the first gen Echo that we are still running, and then some Gen 2 Dots all around the house. Great devices, right? You got the headphone port if you want to plug them into nice speakers for music. Other than that, they're just great home automation devices. If you are getting them for music, you're going to be disappointed. I'll just put that out there. So don't expect to play music on this and for it to sound decent. I don't think they do. I hate listening to music on the Dot. But if you've got it plugged into some speakers or anything like that, or if you're just using it for home automation like we do, perfect little devices to throw around everywhere. I have one right here on the desk, have one in my son's room, have one in our bedroom, everywhere. Our whole house is pretty much blanketed in Amazon devices.
Yeah, I've got the Dot on my desk, Mike, and I've got it plugged into my mixer, and
that's a perfect way to do it. So then you have decent speakers probably plugged in to listen to music.
Some roll-in shelf speakers that I've had forever, and they just won't give up the ghost. I wish they would because I really want a new pair. But they sound great, and the Dot is a really good device to have on desks.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
It's just a great desk. To have right there to be able to control the lights or, whatever you're ever going to control with it. I think there's going to be big competition between Google and Amazon this Christmas.
Well, this is the first year, right, that I think we're going to see big competition like you said. And I've been surprised, Jim. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about the Apple device, the HomePod, and people actually being very interested in that HomePod, which I didn't think was going to be a starter, to be honest. I thought it's way too niche. It's way too Apple ecosystem. They haven't opened it up enough. Amazon and Google are both open, right? You've got Spotify, you've got all the other music sources. The HomePod to me was just too locked down, but I've been hearing a lot of people talk about it, so I think they might even be in the mix. I think it's going to be a big year for those devices, like you said, and I think especially because they're putting some of their older gens on sale.
You and I have talked about me and a Apple Watch, and it looks like at Target they're going to be clearancing out, or at least the Watch 3s, right? This newest generation is 4, right? So those are $399.
Yeah.
So it looks like Target's going to be running the Watch 3, the GPS versions, for $199.
That's a really good deal.
What would you tell me, Mike, right now? So if I was going to say, like, hey, do I go $199 on the 3? Do I go $399 on the 4? Knowing you know me pretty well, what kind of advice would you give me on that?
Well, it comes down to, number one, do you want cellular?
Yeah.
Right. Because I know both of those are GPS only versions, but this is like
You're gonna
separate.
have a Watch 3 GPS that has cell for $299. So $199 no,
Okay.
$299 3 cell, $399 4.
You know, at that point, Jim, if you go and put one on your wrist and see if you like the difference, because there's a noticeable difference. What you don't want to do is pay $299 for that third gen, put on a fourth gen someone else has, and be like, man, I wish I would have paid for that more screen real estate. When I see Hannah's, I'm happy enough with my Gen 3, honestly. So I put on Hannah's. It's a Gen 4. Don't get me wrong, gorgeous, beautiful, great watch. You get a lot more screen real estate, but for me, I'm like, oh, actually, I'm glad I didn't spend the money because I'm really happy with my 3. I have a 3 with cellular, and it is perfect for me. And we'll just put it this way, Jim. I don't have Watch Envy on Hannah's phone, on Hannah's watch. Now you're not going to get the EKG. The EKG is a new feature, and you're not going to get you. She does get a little bit better cell reception than I do. And then of course there's going to be the whole thing of future OS aren't going to run on our Gen 3 at some point. They're going to run on the Gen 4. But I do not have Watch Envy on Hannah's watch. Usually I do. When she got the iPhone 10, I needed the 10. I was so excited for it. I went out and upgraded within, I think it was like 4 months later, I finally just went out and upgraded my phone. On the watch side, I'm very happy with my Gen 3. So I think that's a really good deal. You'll just have to decide if you want cellular or not, which I would highly encourage. I have found it more useful than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough. I would probably go $299 with the 3. SP in the chat room says go 4, better podcast integration. So they're encouraging me to do that. By the way, let me go back. Emily had said a little bit when we were talking about deals. She put a link in there to Tile. They're also giving away. Tile is one of those devices you can put on your keychain, and if you lose it, you can find it again. It's one of those kinds of deal. They actually have a deal right now.
I love those.
40% on the Mate Slim and get a free Echo Dot. So I think you're going to see. This is where, Mike, I think you got to be really savvy during Christmas time.
You really do. Totally agree.
Yeah, I think you're going to see dots and Google Home devices thrown in with everything. Like you could pick up 4 or 5 of these as part of deals, So
and those tiles are perfect. So mine all ran out of battery. I got it for Christmas a year and a half ago, or no, 2 years ago. And now they ran out of battery halfway through this year, and I have not replaced them yet, but I've been waiting to because now I'm at a loss. You know how many times I'm in the mornings looking for my wallet and phone? I'm like, man, if I just would have upgraded those tiles. Yeah. So find those integration deals, find where they're selling this product with that. Microsoft, like we mentioned, is doing a lot of those as well. You mentioned obviously the bundle. They always bundle their Xbox with a game. So look around for the best bundle. The Minecraft one isn't the best deal because the Minecraft game is super cheap on Xbox anyway. So if you could get one with like NBA or Call of Duty or one with a $60 title game, usually it's a little better combo. Yeah, find those deals. I totally agree.
SP in the chat room says the new Tile Pros have replaceable batteries. So boom.
Oh man.
Yeah. They do.
Yeah.
The new Pro and Mate now with replaceable batteries.
So have they made one yet that's like a credit card size for my wallet? Because I had so back in the day, I think 2 years ago, they had just the squares, and I had that in my wallet, but it was a little bit thick, to be honest. And whenever I sat on it, it would activate it. So it was kind of a pain. But for the keys, it was perfect. I love it for the keys.
Go out to the tileapp.com.
Okay.
So thetileapp.com. You can you look. I'll leave this link in the show notes as well. You can get some more information on the Pro, the Mate Slim. So you've got some. They got some. Like
they've really upgraded these since the last time I looked.
Yeah, I know this has gotten better. They have really integrated or have really innovated on this.
And we've talked about this in the past, but the community integration of Tile is fantastic. Where if I lose this, you as a Tile user walking around don't realize it, but your phone is helping someone find their lost Tile. It's not going to give them the information. It's not going to say, hey, Jim, Mike's wallet's right around you. And you're like, oh, sweet, where is it? But, it'll secretly be talking to your app if I report it as lost, and you'll help me find it. So that was a really cool feature that I had, that I really liked about it. I actually used it once, and it worked perfectly. I left my keys actually inside of Mr. Goodsense. And I found it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because someone with Tile app must have walked right by and said, hey, your keys are here. So found it.
You can get a 4-pack of the Pros for $100. That saves you 28%. So there's some deal on Tile stuff as well. So, and you can, like I said, you can pick up. Always be looking for those. There's some Google deals. Minis are going to run at $25. Chromecasts are going to run for $25. The Ultra, the Chromecast Ultra is going to run for $50. Home and Home Hub, 79 and 99. These are all deals at Target, but you're going to find this all over, right? You just need to look and see. Mike, one of the things that I'm particularly interested in, I probably won't pull the trigger this year, but we're looking at moving. And I know I've been saying that for like 3 years, right?
Yeah.
You call me on that every time.
I did. I even called you in front of your wife when you came over for cigars.
I know you said that, but the Ring doorbell, $99. So like if this is the Christmas, if you haven't picked up a Ring doorbell, this is the Christmas. And guys, can we just have a little intervention for a second?
I want to see where this goes.
Gentlemen, let me just talk to you for a second. Okay. Take care of your family first. Like get your family's Christmas presents now. Get those all out of the way. Get those purchased. Spend all your money on that. Make sure you have that taken care of, because you can't do this stuff. But then after that's all taken care of, like go crazy on yourself. Like I'm giving you permission. It's okay. You can do it. There's so many great gadget deals this Christmas. As I was looking at Schoonover's list, Mike, I couldn't. There's Philip Hue deals, right? There's Roku deals. The Roku Ultra at $50, the stick at $30. Like I'm having a hard time, because I'm like, oh my God, all the gadgets we talk about, all of them on sale.
Well, yeah, and it's hard because that later you're going to end up buying these anyway, and they're going to be at full price. So I've been surprised. So Simply Safe, you guys know we talked about this a long time ago, is the security system that I ended up going with. They were supposed to have their video doorbell out by, quote, fall of this year. They have not released it yet. I'm kind of concerned, because honestly, it's the main reason I have not purchased the Ring, because I'm in the Simply Safe ecosystem. If I can consolidate apps, that would be great. So I've been waiting for them to come out with one, and they have not yet. They have filed their patents. We have seen, I've actually gone to the PTO website. You can actually look at them for the Patent and Trademark Office. And so they're out there. They just haven't come out yet. And I am shocked, because they are missing out on a huge opportunity here for some Christmas buying, because I have actually thought that Simply Safe security systems would be fantastic presents for family members. Obviously not for younger kids, but I think adults would really appreciate, one of those security systems, and something maybe they wouldn't think of for themselves. And if you're the tech guy in the family and you offer, hey, free installation from you, kind of a cool gift out there. But I've been waiting for them to come out with the doorbell, and they haven't released it yet. I've been really surprised.
Mm-hmm. I think the most recent episode of Home On, by the way, if you're not listening to Richard Gunther on Home On, you are missing, you're missing the home automation revolution. Richard is doing some of the best job, or some of the best work I've seen in podcasting around home automation. But he had Jamie Siminoff from Ring on, and he had Jamie on 4 years ago, about the same time I think we had Jamie on here, and 2 or 3 years ago. And it was great. Jamie has not changed a one bit. If you go back, if you just Google Jamie Siminoff here at the Average Guy to TV, you can hear him. We had him on here before they made it big with both the Ring and now with Amazon. He was super amazing on that podcast. It really put kind of my faith back in Ring a little bit, of like, he hasn't changed. He didn't turn into a douche. He's not a CEO that wouldn't come on a small, Richard's got way bigger podcast than we do, I think. But he doesn't, he's a gajillionaire at this point, based on selling Ring to Amazon. Yeah. No, and he was a super great guy. So if you haven't listened to that episode, head over to Home On and make sure you're listening to that. Jamie, I've almost thought about calling him and saying, hey, would you come back on Home Gadget Geeks? I bet he would. I bet he would too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He seemed like the type that would.
Yeah. No, super good guy, and did a great job on Home On. Again, head over there and get that done. I think, Mike, we're going to also see Christmas is going to start a fire sale on storage. So we've already seen this, but at Best Buy, they've already run the 10 terabyte USB hard drives for $180. I think by early, maybe Christmas or even after Christmas, I think those will be down in the $150 price point. I think we're going to see some 10 terabyte drives come out USB. And I think that's the next thing, right? I mean, I think that's the next level down. Then from there, I'm not sure it goes 12. I think it probably goes to 15 and then 20. I mean, that would kind of make sense in that space. I don't know if they can engineer that. I guess they can, But
I mean, they can engineer anything. I will tell you guys that. So there has been some videos of people going out because now WD in their home clouds has been putting the 10 terabytes in there, like we talked about. People have been shucking them. Take it, it's a 10 terabyte, essentially a 10 terabyte Western Digital Red. If you are planning on putting those in a PC, though, they do have that annoying third pin power resetting option. So you'll have to figure out something if you are.
You just peel it back. It's
Yeah.
just a little connection, and you just peel it back. I've watched. There's videos on how to do that.
Yep.
You can. It's pretty simple. I wouldn't want to mess with it, but it's pretty simple.
But Best Buy was doing Black Friday deals or early Black Friday deals. They were putting those 10 terabyte things for $179. So for $180, you've got a 10 terabyte Western Digital Red.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of crazy that we're getting to that point on those platter drives.
Yeah. It's also cheap right now. I know you don't want to hear about crypto stuff because nobody wants to hear about it, but I'm going to say
everything right now in crypto, to be honest. I looked at my portfolio today, Jim. Everything is cheap.
We're going to talk about that in the post show, but some of those crypto boards that had like 20 PCI, connections on them, they were $200 or $300, 6 months ago. They're literally like $129.
Are they really?
Yes.
And those can be totally useful for, for a number of reasons. Well, I guess with PCI lanes, I don't know, what are you going to use those for besides?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably not much.
I don't know. I wish PCI and SATA were the same thing.
I was just going to say that. You would have to get the adapters, which, then you're going to spend that much money on those little, because you can get the PCI, whatever they're called, expanders that have the 4 SATA ports on them.
Well, I'd have to look into that, how much the adapters would cost.
They're not that much. I think they're about $20 for like a 4 SATA onto PCI.
It just doesn't make sense though, because the way they have those, the way they have those ports lined up on the board, they're lined up in rows.
Yes.
And it's really meant for those adapters to come off and then a riser to be put on it and then a card, right?
Yeah.
But I was viewing some of that crypto equipment and it came up in one of my Facebook feeds or something. I was like, these things were a couple $100 just 6 months ago and they are super cheap now.
I've still got a bunch of those risers from my cards.
Do you?
Yeah. Just, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Probably nothing. Probably throw them away at some point. But yeah, they're just sitting in a box.
Emily said in the chat room, did you see Newegg's deals? The Verge has kind of combined all of Newegg's. You're going to want to watch that as well. We've been talking mostly about the consumer products, but of course at Newegg, you're going to be able to they're going to do some Black Friday stuff on some motherboards, gaming motherboards, Corsair power supplies. Of course, we talked about a sweet power supply last week. I didn't check to see if it's still available from EVGA. But man, that thing is burning a hole in my pocket, Mike. I want to put that in a case pretty bad.
Do you have any cases that are running low, that are even pushing the limits of their?
No, I'm gonna build new. I'm just gonna build new.
That's a fun part
modular. It's the most beautiful power supply I've ever seen, like I've ever had. I'm sure there's more beautiful ones, but man, this thing is super sweet. Gaming motherboards, capture cards, power supplies, they're all available at Newegg. You probably want to head out there if you're gonna build. They do have a 3rd generation Nest thermostat for $179, which may be a good way if you were holding off waiting to get into the Nest space. $179
for a 3rd gen. That's a really good price.
Yeah, starting November 21st. So we've got a little bit of time. Probably by the time you're listening to this, you want to pay attention to it out there.
That's the exact model I have, and that Ecobee has been fantastic. The fact that it has sensors. I don't know why, and maybe Nest has in the past few months. I've missed it. But the fact that you have external sensors that you put around your house, it says, hey, I'm going to average the temperature from all the rooms. It just makes total sense. There's really no reason of having a smart thermostat without those, in my opinion. So we have one in the kid's bedroom who is on the front of the house, gets super cold, and at night you can set it to say, hey, at night only pull the sensors from his room and our bedroom. We don't care about the living room, we don't care about the basement, just pull those two. It's such a great system. Yeah, for $179, I think we paid in the mid to 200s for our system. It's a good deal.
Tajoski in the
So it's an extra.
Yeah, no, right on. Tajoski in the chat room said, he goes, great. You guys made me open slick deals. Thanks. But apparently Plex passes are $90, which I'm thinking, is that a lifetime?
For a lifetime? I bet that has to be lifetime.
Yeah, if it's lifetime, it's worth it. Like, because I'm paying $5 a month right now, so $60 a year. It'd be nice to be done with that payment. Just pay it one time. I'm going to be on Plex for a while. Although Dave McCabe in the most recent reset He's not super happy with Plex. So if you're a
Really?
Plex, yeah, if you're a Plex,
I need to get on there and
Dave
banter
goes
with him a little
back and
bit.
forth. He goes
Well,
back
you know, they've been going through some growing pains. So actually, Plex has a bug right now, and they've had it for the last 3 months. On the iOS app, I can't view my TV library, and it's a common bug. You say, "Hey, go view my TV shows," and on iOS only, if I go on the web, it's fine. If I go to iOS, it says it can't connect. So I feel his pain. They do have some bugs that they have not addressed in a long time, and the community is a little restless over there. The forums are not a happy place right now.
They did a ton of development.
They did. They added so many
down.
features.
Yeah.
The problem is they haven't gone back and fixed the bugs in all of them.
Yeah, he does say yes, so I'm assuming that is. So check out Slick Deals. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to Slick Deals, boy, I tell you what, that can be a money spender. Over there at Newegg, we talked about the Nest Learning thermostat, but they also have Nest Cam, the indoor security cam, normally $199 for $127. And Dave has been talking about this a ton, I think, on Reset. The Arlo security system is over there. And they have that system is normally $350 and you can get it for $189 right now. So some good, when we think about smart home gadgets over at Newegg, you might want to check that as well. This is, if you have not made a new TV purchase in 5 years, this is probably the winner to get it done. If you were going to buy a TV for the family, Mike, don't you think, like, there's so many great TVs out? And listen, we're past the junk 3D, and 4K has gotten super standard. And don't you think now's the time?
Too is the big part about there. Yeah, 4K, pretty affordable. But make sure if you're going to get them a 4K TV, we've had this problem in our family. Get them a device that actually streams at 4K. So some of these, especially like your dad, right? Your dad's so excited. You got this 4K TV, and then he plugs it into his cable box. He's like, well, I can't really see a difference. Like, well, yeah, you're not going to. The cable box doesn't put out 4K. Here, plug it into a 4K Apple TV, plug it into a 4K Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, whatever. Just make sure they actually have a device that supports 4K. Or Jim, the Xbox One S that you were talking about. Great 4K device, puts out at 4K.
Here's the problem. I'm going to buy this 1S, and then I'm going to need a 4K monitor to play it.
No, what's going to happen is you're going to get a 1S, then you're going to need a second one for the living room because you're going to be like, oh, Mike was right. This is a perfect media consumption device for a living room.
Oh, my God. I can just hear the money flying out of here right now. So
just don't let Sarah see how easy it is to use. Because honestly, I didn't think Hannah would be on board, and Hannah loves it. So much so that's why we have two. Because we need one in the living room. It's her favorite media consumption device. It always works. It has all the apps. It turns all the TV on. She doesn't need 3 remotes. She needs 1. So yeah.
Hey, the 1X deal at Newegg, same thing. Minecraft, and I think this is actually the same at the Microsoft Store. It's $199. So if you go to Newegg starting November 19th, Xbox One S, 1 terabyte console, Minecraft Creators Bundle, $199. You can't go wrong on that thing, right?
No.
I think it's the same price on Microsoft too. Yeah, for $200, you got to do it, right?
I think so. Okay. I think it's a perfect device.
Talk me into
especially people. Okay, not you, but there are people who have been out there saying, "Oh, I think I'm going to get an Apple TV," and I just like, whoa! Apple TVs. You know how much you are spending? You're spending over $100 for a device that. I mean, really, what are you getting out of the Apple TV that you can't get anywhere else? So, yeah, I've been a huge. If you are willing to spend the money on an Apple TV, definitely get the Xbox instead, even if you're not gaming.
How's the Twitch chat? Are they chatting over there? I haven't been watching.
Emily Prokop's over there. Flake's one of my Twitch guys over there.
Nice. Just a reminder, we've been, I think, Mike, an experiment that's worked. Like we've been streaming on Twitch. Yeah. I think we're gonna keep doing this. So there'll be it's available on Live 2. If you come over live, we'll leave it on the Live 2 channel. So we have Live and Live 2, and it makes sense. Live 2 is more vertically set up to go this way. Live 1 is more horizontally set up to watch it.
And to that point too, if you are watching mobile and you do want to watch the video, Jim, I don't know if you're okay with this, but the Twitch app, if they go to the Twitch app on the phone and watch the stream over there, it's perfect because it has the chat there. It's got the video. You can switch back and forth. It's not. So if you are on mobile, that's another option where you could.
Well, on Windows, there's a Twitch app too. And so if you kind of want it all in one and you want to get a Windows app, Twitch is available.
Take on what they think about it too. So if you're watching over on Live 2, or if you're watching on the Twitch page, or if you're watching on the Twitch app, or if you're watching on YouTube, let us know kind of like what your experience is, what you're liking about each platform. Maybe we could create the perfect storm of options for you guys.
Yeah. No,
exactly what they want to see.
We're going to make some changes in 2019. Mike and I, just the way we do things and adding some new tech. I think we're kind of getting to a spot in podcasting where we're ready to move to the next gen. And I'm not giving up anytime soon. We'll be kind of moving on to some new technologies and trying some different things out. So pretty exciting. Hang around. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. If you're listening for the first time or maybe in your first couple months or whatever, we plan to move some things around, test some things out. I think there's some great new technologies coming. And so we're excited about that. Mike, Kevin, also in the Facebook group, again, facebook.com/group/theaverageguy. He noticed that we're seeing some SSD, some 1 terabyte. I cannot believe this, by the way. 1 terabyte SSD is $99. Now,
I couldn't believe that either.
He did
throw a disclaimer in there. You're right. Yeah, you're going to go there. Go ahead.
This Centon that he put in there doesn't recommend, but I think the shot heard around, the $99 shot heard around the world has been posted, and I think everybody's going to chase it. So I am for sure thinking we are going to see Newegg, Amazon, whatever, Micro Center. You're probably going to want to. Oh, by the way, hold on. Let me just add a super proud dad moment for a second. So, Tim, my Marine, San Diego, talking to him on the phone on Sunday. We were talking about him out doing some stuff down there. We were talking a little crypto and some of the other things. And he was telling me about this new monitor. And then he goes, "Yeah, I made a trip to the Fry's, the local Fry's." And he was like, "Dad, it's so great there."
And you just threw your fist bump up, and you're like, "Yes, you just." Dad,
we visited Fry's when I was down there. He'd never been in a Fry's. We don't have Fry's here in Nebraska. And so when I was down there to see him last year, I was like, "Dude, we definitely got to go to Fry's." And so I showed him a Fry's, and he goes, "I walked around, and 2 hours later, like I was wishing there was more store." And so
totally.
He was just like, he goes, "This is great." And of course, they're stocked up for Christmas. So proud dad moment. But I think we need to watch, Mike, for this is that time to, and I wish, like when I was doing a bunch of burst, what did we call it when we wrote those things to the, what was that called when we did burst? When we were actually writing the stuff to the plotting. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it would have been really helpful to have a 1 terabyte SSD when we were plotting, just to speed things up. The biggest one I had was 250, and that created a whole bunch of plotting problems. Mike, at $100, it's time. Like I just can't imagine not going with a 1 terabyte drive at this point.
And even 129 for a name brand one. Yeah. And Jim, I think the surprising part is how fast these have come down in price. This has not been over 2-3 years. This has been months, weeks, even, where we've seen, how often is it that we've seen Kevin over there post weekly about SSD prices and they keep going down? We're seeing this happen fast.
It did. What it's going to cost, Kyle says in that same post, Kyle Wilcox says, "I'm looking for a 256 gig SSD for $25. Kyle, I think you're going to find one here pretty quick. Like if you keep your eyes open, maybe not 25, probably 30, or maybe 35 is the right price point. 25's, it's a little tough to have any margin in that space. Maybe you find it on a deal somewhere or whatever. But I think, Kyle, if you have your eyes open, I think you're going to see a 256 deal. Shoot, I think you're going to see, 500 gig, probably $49 here pretty quick. You're going to, and they don't like, they find that sweet spot and then they kind of scale everything up. So it doesn't kind of make sense, but I think you're going to see some $50, 500 gig. Don't you think?
I totally think so. And I'm excited because I want a parity cache for my Unraid server. And I would love to grab another SSD. I have a 500 gig SSD in there right now, but it's just a single one. I would love to stripe that and have a striped cache.
Kevin in the Facebook group, by the way, if you're in the Reset forums, we talked about Dave McCabe's podcast Reset. Many of the listeners here are old Home Server Show listeners. And that's, by the way, those forums are still going like gangbusters, and they do a great job over there. Chris Kenny and those folks who help moderate those forums, maybe the best forums on the internet. So if you haven't checked them out, I think you can just go to resetforums.com something like that. I should probably look that up before I say that. But Kevin posts over there as well. But he posted in our Facebook group. If you haven't gotten into a NAS QNAP TS 328 system, $170 and $6 shipping for currently from woot.com. I think
is that a 2-bay unit?
That's a good question. I think it's a 3-bayer.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
That's a good price. I love the QNAP ecosystem. When I was over there, I really enjoyed
it's
it.
2-bay. Sorry.
Okay, 2-bay. So I've run QNAP, I've run Synology, both, and now obviously running Unraid, which is a completely different beast. But QNAP's a good one.
Okay, I totally lied. So it says that the TS328 is one of a kind 3-bay NAS. It is an option especially suited for those who are on a budget but need a bit more storage than just for a 2-bay. That's what I saw when I saw 2-bay. The 328 is in RAID 5 and will double the storage capacity.
Got to run RAID 5 then at some point.
Yeah. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. It's got a quad-core RTD 1296 processor. Still not that super powerful, but for an NAS, what you need, I think this is $170. Let's see. Oh, it's sold out now. But let's just say this: it's sold out now. Watch our Facebook group or the Reset forums. Either way, for these deals Kevin is posting, and you can like jump on these things because Woot goes fast. Like when they post it, you've got an hour or two to go out there and get it done. Tajoski says, "R.I.P. our credit cards."
Yeah. So Jim, I do have to say that while we're talking about these cheaper version NASs, perfect for storage if that's all you need. If you need an SMB share, even if you want to use these things as a VPN, they actually work as a VPN server, things like that. If you have any inkling at all that you want to do a Plex server or you want to, do anything more, think about doing something more of like repurposing an old PC into a free NAS or an Unraid or something box, just because you'll be surprised how weak those processors are in those NASs. They're great. They get the job done. And it's worth the price if all you need is storage. For my parents, it's perfect. I set up a Synology box. It was easy. It was simple. 2 drives in there. They just wanted storage, and that's all they needed. Perfect for that. But if you're watching this show, I have a feeling you have an inkling that you want to maybe do something more with it in the future. Considering spending that $170 on eBay and grab an Optiplex, 780 old computer, throw some hard drives in it, and you could have the same thing, but you could also have a lot more processing power. Just something to think about. Keep your eyes open if you're looking at those. But they are really nice devices. Super small form factor. They're quiet, and the thing I like about them, very low on the power consumption. So you get a lot of data storage for essentially zero power consumption.
QNAP is a good way in, a little bit cheaper than Synology. I mean, I think Synology is probably the leader when we think about, when we think about, although Drobo just put out a Drobo 8. Listen, those guys have not given up. They are crushing it over there, Drobo. They're doing some new things over there as well. They're actually giving away the Drobo, the 8-bay Drobo right now. If you put a post on and you just tell them how great or how you would use the 8-bay Drobo, and they're giving it away, which would be super cool. And they've added a whole bunch of hardware into theirs to make them more relevant, which is pretty cool. QNAP by far, I think, of the mainstream NAS boxes, cheapest way to get in, then probably Synology, then probably Drobo. I need some dollar signs in the chat room, by the way. Every time I say Drobo, you have to put dollar signs in the chat room. So somebody do that.
QNAP has some good rack mounted options too. QNAP does have more powerful options. I don't know if they started in kind of the cheaper enterprise rack mountable NAS sphere, but it seems like they did because they do tend to focus there a little bit more too. So if you're looking for that kind of device, they have those as well.
It's kind of, we wrap it up, just some, and SP, thanks for the dollar signs. As we wrap it up, we've been talking about our Fitbit group, and this may be the winter, gentlemen and ladies, that you get on the Fitbit. This would be a good, if you don't want to spend all the money on an Apple Watch. Some of the most expensive Fitbit watches are under $200. So you can really get into a very nice Fitbit. Join our Fitbit group. Send me an email, jim@theaverageguy.tv, if you want to at least connect to me that way. We're doing weekly challenges. Mike, every week I'm doing 2 or 3 challenges now with the guys. Super good. I'm not winning some of them. Tajoski's crushing it in one of the groups.
He lives in Hawaii, though. That's not fair. He has a beautiful place to walk around. You try walking around Omaha in our temperatures right now, you wouldn't be getting many steps either.
He's on his treadmill, though, I think.
Is he really?
I think he is.
Yeah, he's killing it.
So
I've heard
So
he's just
Tajowski,
dominating.
thanks for you know what, he set a high bar. In some of my best days of where I was really getting after it, I could probably keep up with them. I just can't. You can't do that every week. But I've been trying to keep up with them. And SP says, "Hey, try Minnesota." Yeah, it's going to be a long winter. I've often thought about getting a treadmill here at the house just to walk on. I would never run on them, but to walk on them, maybe put a computer on them, those kinds of things, that would be super helpful. So Fitbit deals are going to be out there. Check Best Buy for those. Sonos deals are going to be out there. You might want to watch that. We talked about SSDs. They're going to run a Samsung 1 terabyte for $130. That would be worth it, by the way. 1 terabyte Samsung and $130. Boom, that should be a done deal. If you're looking for a new computer, they're going to run some Surface Pro deals. Of course, you should be, if you're buying pro devices. Surface Pros are pretty amazing devices if you haven't checked them out. So get out there, kind of get that done. If you need flash drives have never been cheaper, Mike. I was at
I just ordered a 5-pack, actually, a 5-pack 32 gig. I just needed some for running operating systems, Flash, PFSense, Windows, Mac OS. So I have these little hard drives now that sit right here, and they're all labeled. And so when one of my computer crashes, I have the installation media right in front of me. Super cheap. I think I got it for like $15, 5 32 gig flash drives. I probably overspent at that price point, to be honest, but for $15 for 5 of them, not bad.
No, you did okay. Sometimes it's just utility. SP says he has a treadmill, an elliptical, and a recumbent bike. I don't think Fitbit works on the bike or the elliptical, though. It will work for steps on an elliptical. Depends on the motion of it. I did that today. I was on an elliptical today, and I was getting some steps. But the bike, nope, not at all. You're not going to get it on a bike. On a treadmill, though, definitely on a treadmill, getting those steps. Some of the newer versions of Fitbit have some stair tracking and some of those other things. I have an Ulta, and I have a Fitbit Ulta right here. I picked it off for the show. $50, I think maybe is what I paid for it or something. $75. So I got it actually as a gift at work for an anniversary gift. And so maybe it's more like $99. Good enough for me, but Mike, I'm kind of missing the heart rate thing, and that's why I've been thinking about an Apple Watch. EKG would be nice. I'm getting old. I should probably be watching my heart, those kinds of things. So, Mike, anything else that I missed as we think? I mean, we covered a lot of deals tonight. Anything else you want to add?
I mean, no, I think we covered the main tech deals everyone's going to be interested in. Obviously, there's going, like you said, there's going to be the doorbusters, and the Best Buys and the Walmarts are going to have all the TVs that you need. But yeah, I think some of the main ones we talked about tonight are going to be things to watch. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of them, like you said, that maybe aren't good gifts, but they're good. Hey, I've shopped for everyone else, and now, like you said, just go ham on yourself for a little bit. Treat yourself.
Get the family done. Hopefully, you've save some money. One of the things we have a Christmas account I set up a couple years ago. Every paycheck, a little bit of money goes over there. So there's no surprises at Christmas. We have plenty of money for the missus, for Sarah to spend on the kids. My family's not getting any smaller, so we have to keep up in that all the time. But we also got a credit card that we pay off every month that has cash rewards, and I think I've earned like $500 in the last 6 months on that thing because I pay everything with it. So that's going to get added to the Christmas fund, which is pretty cool. And so there's a lot of cool things I've got my eyes on. But man, a $199 Xbox deal. Dundee.
Deal.
I think I think it's a Dundee. Maybe we'll do we'll do an unboxing here.
I've got mine sitting right here, Jim. And it's a friend. It needs someone to connect to and to play games with. So.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to get a TV along with it. I'm gonna have to get a really nice 4K 30-inch to put right here.
Oh,
on that.
Dang.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I just have it on this tiny little monitor. So
I got a spot. Well, I probably would try it. I got this LG 27-inch monitor that I should probably try it on first. It's got an extra HDMI port on it, and so the thing is, the sound's not very good off that monitor, so I would probably need to do something different with it. We'll have to get that figured out. Hey, if you're in Australia or Canada, this is like we talked about a lot of US deals tonight. I'm sure you have some of your own. Jump in our Facebook group, and if you find some deals in Canada, although I don't think they have deals there. I think everything's just expensive all the time in Canada, and that's okay. Canadians, you have good health care, so just enjoy that. And then
you save in healthcare, you pay for everything else. Okay.
So. Yeah, no, I'm down. They got really great healthcare, and so it's super good. Everything else is expensive. Australia the same way. I know we got a lot of listeners in Australia. Jump in the Facebook group. We'd love to have you come in. share those deals. Just kind of a great way to have community. And as we think about those, let's be honest, those gifts for ourselves during this Christmas season, guys, do not try to get this by the family as, hey, kids, an Xbox. Like, no, it's for you, right?
Yeah.
But so get them something. Now, maybe they're gamers, and maybe that's a great thing. But make sure you take care of the family as well. Mike, we made it through. I'll be honest with you, as I looked at this list early on, I was kind of like, holy crap, how are we
I
going
don't
to
know why
do
you ever
this?
doubt it, though. You know, we always end up pulling through.
No, I know. No, super good. We are off next week. It's Thanksgiving here in the United States.
Oh yeah, we are off next week. You're right. It is Thanksgiving.
What you got? What do the Wiegers do for Thanksgiving?
You know, the Wiegers are in disarray this year, so we don't know what we're doing. We have no idea. We do try and hit up all the families if we can.
Really?
So we'll hit up my family, my parents, my mom's side, my dad's side, and then we'll head down to Falls City, where my wife is from, at some point over the weekend. But you know what? All three sides of our family, all four sides, have not decided what we're doing yet. So we're a little bit behind the ball.
Just before I let you go here, as I mentioned that I'm going to plug this Xbox into a crappy TV. SP comes through with a Plantronics Rig 800LX SE wireless gaming headset with Dolby Atmos for Xbox One. $150. Boom.
There you go.
Boom.
That is I have the Turtle Beach fully wireless version, also fantastic. And even better for if you had this Xbox in your living room and your significant other falls asleep, you can still continue to watch without disturbing them. I'm just gonna keep egging you on that you need one in your living room.
It's the headphones are the way to go, right?
Yeah.
I don't need to worry about speakers. It's the headphones are the way to go.
Oh, that's the way I do it.
Yeah, and I got some Bose. I could probably stream them to the Bose too. I could,
yeah,
right. Bluetooth,
but you'll need a mic on them if you want to play with anyone.
No, there is a mic on. I've got the 35s, the Quiet Comfort 35s. It's not
you will not be able to use those on the Xbox though.
Oh, yikes!
Yeah.
Damn.
Well,
I spent $350 on those things.
They're Bluetooth only, right? They have no cord.
No, they do have a cord.
Oh, the cord. Then you'll be good.
Okay.
There's a port in the bottom of your controller where that plugs in. So you'll
plug it in right there. Yeah, It's got the right cable for it too. Thank God. That was $350 for
there you go. So there's a new use case because you were saying you don't use them as much as you should. So there's a new use case for your Bose.
I'm in. So Thanksgiving at the Collison house this year, we will be out at my son just bought a new house, and my middle son, and so we're going to go out to his place. We'll do the bacon wrapped turkey, which is super, super famous. If you head out to the averageguy.tv, hosting
his first Thanksgiving hunt, that's like a big deal.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
we have yet to do it. We have yet to host at our house, and I'm thinking it's about time. Maybe this year's the first year. Grandma and grandpa are not in their home right now, so maybe it's time to take that over. It's usually over at their house. So this is the first year that we'll have to think about doing it somewhere else. So maybe Hannah and I kind of step up to the plate.
Might be time. You got young kids. You got young kids. So
it's actually easier for us. It's a great time for
them. It is a great way.
Us, because then they come to us. The kids can go to bed if they need to. They can take a nap in their own bed.
Totally. The family just comes and trashes the place, though. So you know what we should do? We should start a new tradition of Thanksgiving Friday. It's Cigar Friday. That's what we should.
Anytime you put that word in front of me, Jim, I'm down. You came over and you got me hooked.
Where did I see that? I think it was in the chat room. Somebody was, or maybe it was Ryan was talking about, who was it in the chat room? Somebody was talking about some cigar tech. I brought that up a couple weeks ago or a week ago. Did they actually
have some stuff for it?
Yeah. He had mentioned some things. I didn't have a lot of time to read it through. I need to spend a little more time doing it. But so we will definitely, Thanksgiving will definitely be cigars out in the garage, which will be pretty great. But we'll cook the bacon wrapped turkey. Go to the averageguy.tv and search for bacon turkey. Just do that. I've got from a 2011 post of talking about how I smoke and grill. It's more grilling than is smoking, but we put the turkey on here and grill it with some bacon. Dude, super delicious. Like the kids, that's all they talk about for a week before Thanksgiving.
What's about the great part about your cooking post? It's evergreen content, right? You posted that in 2011. Yeah. Probably you still cook it the exact same way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've been wanting to try that, so I'm gonna try that out.
Yeah. No, super.
We spatchcocked ours last year and did it, but I think I'm gonna try it your way this year.
I was at Fairway and I saw they were selling the syringes and the base, the buttery stuff you would put into them. And I should probably try that too. I've never done it that way. We basically ruined the turkey. Like it is kind of healthy, kind of. It's not by the time we're done with it. It's just, oh my God. Oh my God. Thank God for America and Thanksgiving. I sorry for you other countries that don't celebrate Thanksgiving like we do. It's so good. And we just kind of push it over the top. So Thanksgiving's coming up next Thursday. No show. Mike and I will take the week off, and there'll be plenty of shopping to do the next day. And then we're back with some Christmas. We'll do some Christmas themed podcasts coming in for the month of December as we kind of get the Thursdays between now. I think Christmas is on a Monday or maybe a Tuesday this year. Is that right? I should probably know that. But
no, I think it's a Tuesday.
I think it's a Tuesday. I'm taking the whole week off. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
With it being Tuesday, it's worthless. It's a worthless week because most people are going to take Monday because it's Christmas Eve, and then they take Tuesday, and then the day after Christmas. So
that's why it's the best week to work, though, because it's so quiet. You get so much done.
Yeah.
I'm
I
excited.
used to say that too, Mike. And then I was at work and nobody was there.
Yeah,
and I'm like, this is stupid. So
we're doing a family trip actually earlier in December. We're surprised. Well, I know he doesn't listen to the show, so it's fine. We're surprising my father-in-law for his 60th birthday with a trip down to Nashville, Tennessee.
Nice.
And so he's a huge country music fan. We're going to road trip it. We're not going to tell him. So they live on a farm, kind of in southeast Nebraska. We're going to tell him we're going to, to St. Joe. He knows that's on the way for dinner for his birthday, and then we're just going to keep driving. And he's not going to know where we're going. So it'll be kind of fun.
Sweet.
Yeah. So that's my vacation during December. Good, so taking those times.
Ton of fun. Ton of fun. We'll be live most of the Thursdays in December. Lots of Christmas themed stuff, and of course, we will have lots of opportunity for you to influence the program. Like, remember, it's conversation, news, reviews, and product updates. That's what we're talking about. And the more you put in Facebook, the more you email me, Jim@theaverageguy.tv, the more you talk to us, the more of that stuff will make the show. You kind of help us now make the show and all the things that we do. We'd really love to hear about the Black Friday deals you took advantage of. So if you've done that, you're listening to this the week of Thanksgiving, maybe. It's very, very possible you're listening to this on Monday or Tuesday of next week, and you're going to take advantage of some Black Friday deals. Let us know. We'll talk about them on the show the Thursday afterwards in December. We'd love to hear from you. You want to add anything else, Mike?
No. I think we nailed it all.
All right. We are live
every 2 weeks.
We are live every Thursday, just about, except Thanksgiving and some other Thursdays. But we are live every Thursday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 Eastern, out here at theaverageguy.tv/live. Don't forget, like I got all these codes for HelloFresh. And Mike, we had a potato soup that just when we added some of our own chicken to it, it was a vegetarian option. So by the way, HelloFresh has vegetarian options. Every week they have 3 available for you. Listen, I don't know why you would be a vegetarian, but just in case you go that way, they have a vegetarian options now. When I started HelloFresh back in the spring, maybe 7 options a week. I think we're up to like 10 or 12. They must be doing well. And 2 or 3 vegetarian options every single week. They have a gourmet option where you can get like lobster. It's a little bit extra, not too bad, $5 or $6 extra per person. And then the regular meals are great. We had some potato soup. We had some Tex-Mex tilapia, which was like a little like fish with a little Tex-Mex flavor to it, which is, pretty good. Like you could be doing this too. I got all kinds of coupons. There's a link at theaverageguy.tv that will get you some money, and I'll make a little bit if you want to do it that way. Some folks were a little hesitant when I was giving away the store, and then I said, well, I'll make a little bit, and they're like, yes. So if you want to do that, there's a link out there in the show notes if you want to. It's a little bit of the ways down, but you can get access to HelloFresh. Mike, saved my marriage. I'm not going to lie. Like, we cook together now. It's the best thing we do together. We found this Riesling. I was talking about this in the pre-show. We found this Riesling wine that tonight, I actually, as we were cooking dinner, I was like, man, I want some Riesling. She's like, we have time. And I ran down to Baker's, got 2 bottles of it and brought it home. It was so good. And it's gone now. I mean, I drank it. This is what I was drinking earlier on the show. It's done. I'm to the vanilla bean. But if you haven't tried it yet, give it a try again. I don't care. But I'm just telling you, super awesome stuff. They don't sponsor the show, but it's great stuff. We are live every Thursday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 Eastern. I have a complete disaster story to share when we talk about crypto in the post show. So you're going to, if you maybe only listen to one post show ever, it might be this one. Head out to the Patreon page, theaverageguy.tv/Patreon. It's free. You don't have to do anything. It's just available for you. find it on the stream, and you can listen to it. But Mike, a complete disaster. We'll cover that. Yeah.
And if you're listening live, just stick around.
Yeah.
Just leave the window open to hear that. I'm interested. I want to hear the story.
Dude, I effed up really bad. I'm not going to lie.
Now I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah. So we are live 8 p.m. Central, 9 Eastern at theaverageguy.tv/live every week. Thanks for coming out, and a pretty good Twitch experiment. I think we'll do it again from here on out. So Mike,
I think it works great. Yeah. Super easy on my side. And I think it'll work pretty well. Yeah, we've had between 7 and 10 live guys out there the whole time. So I don't know how many that is our normal viewers or new people from Twitch, but welcome either way, and we'll continue to do this every week.
We'll go into the post show. With that, we'll say goodbye, everybody.